Hello and welcome to Ashton Gate Stadium and our Bears TV coverage of this round 20 Gallagher Premiership clash this afternoon between Bristol Bears and Harlequins, proudly sponsored by ATPI Sports Events. And joining us this afternoon in the studio, I'm pleased to have two Bears with me this afternoon. Lock John Hawkins, good to have you here, and scrum half Will Porter alongside us for the build-up. Will, you're hopping up, probably quite literally with that hamstring, up to the commentary box for us, but you're here for the build-up.
I am, yeah. You got me for the pre-game, but like you said, I'll be taking some slow stairs up in a little bit and then hopefully join commentary. We
will give you enough time to make it up to the media gantry. And John, good to have you here. I'm glad to see you hobbling in like Ed Holmes did in the fashion accessory of the season, the boot. How is the recovery going? It's been a month since
Yes, unfortunately, I had surgery about a month ago now, so slowly getting back on my feet. Still in a big old moon boot, but getting there slowly but surely. Yeah,
I know it's always frustrating for both of you, but I'm delighted to have you here this afternoon. I hope the rehab continues going well for both of you. Before we go through the team lineups and chat about today's fixture, of course, Bears game today is all about celebrating the Community Foundation's combination clubs. Of course, it's one of those places where everyone starts, isn't it? Combination clubs. It is great to see that we have more than 1,000 youngsters here at the stadium, all from their clubs, celebrating their club colours, and lots going on as well all around the stadium, celebrating all things community with wheelchair sport activity in the Dolman and Beat the Bears challenge in the South Stand, even a couple of Bears serving pints in the sports bar. I think both of you have managed to get around the stadium a little bit. The wheelchair basketball, wheelchair rugby going on in the Dolman.
I managed to see a few of the boys practicing, trying to do a bit of wheelchair rugby, and yeah, it's a lot harder than it looks. And
it's brutal.
It's brutal. It is really, really brutal.
I went along to one of the wheelchair rugby sessions, and it is incredible what the Community Foundation. I mean, it's such an important thing to have going on. The funding is so crucial. That's what today's about as well.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant what all the work Capes does in the background to get the Community Foundation doing the great work that it does, and today's just celebrating all of it.
Yeah, well, we will be hearing from Craig Capel in a short time, but let's talk through all the team news. Of course, that's where we need your insight for this afternoon. Of course, Six Nations weekend, probably forget about yesterday if you're an England fan. Obviously missing out on our internationals, but Quins looking to continue to return to their return to winning ways after running out 40 points to 5 wins over Exeter last Saturday. Three changes in the Quins starting lineup, I guess, notably Sam Riley being promoted to start in the front row, I guess, after that performance last Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, last week they were very, very good, and Riley was one of the ones who put in a good performance, and yeah, he's getting the chance to go again. So I think the pack will be a big battle for us today.
Yeah, it's good. It's all set up to be an amazing afternoon. Two changes though in the back line as well. Marcus Smith, Joe Marchant obviously returning to international action this week. That means Will Edwards and Luke Northmore, they're returning to start at fly half and outside centre respectively. Yeah,
like you said, obviously losing those two to internationals, they're two pivotal players in their back line, but if I'm honest, Will Edwards and Luke Northmore are both extremely talented players, so they're not actually missing out on much. So it's still a very exciting backline.
Yeah, it is. And I guess looking at the impact players there, I guess the eye is drawn to number 18.
Yeah, Will Collier, he's a monster of a man as well, isn't he? So coming off the bench, it's no easy task trying to tackle him. So it'll be interesting watching him come off the bench and see the impact that he has.
Yeah, he's had a long return to fitness, hasn't he? A long spell on the sidelines. So we will wait and see what impact if he does come on. Meanwhile, let's have a look at Bears. Their starting lineup. Steve Luatua, of course, returning to the starting lineup. One change from that emphatic win over Saints last Friday night.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, not a lot to change. If it's not broken, don't fix it, sort of thing. So only one out, I think, is Jeffries, and obviously you said Luatua's in, which is not a bad person to have coming into your starting lineup. But yeah, no changes really from last week. So again, we're looking for a similar result if that's possible.
Oh well, yeah. Most points we've scored in a Premiership clash would be delighted. But I mean, this afternoon is going to be a tough battle.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be so exciting to see two teams that are playing good rugby at the minute. Well, hopefully good rugby again this week. So it'll be a great battle, and we'll see. Hopefully we come out on top.
Yeah, let's hope. Well, Will, while we've got you in the studio, I guess as a scrum half, talking about battles, there should be an exciting one this afternoon between ours and theirs. Harry Randall in some fantastic form over the last few weeks against the old experienced head of Danny Kerr.
No, very true, very true. They're both live wires. Obviously, like you said, Randall's obviously younger and has had brilliant form the past few weeks, especially last week. So coming into this. Obviously, he's co-captain this week as well, which is something that could be a factor. He's got a lot more leadership and control the team really well. And then obviously Danny Kerr, we know what he can do, that he's been doing for the past 10, 15 years. So it's going to be exciting. Those two both know it, and I think they'll be looking forward to it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be relishing. Well, certainly Harry will be relishing the opportunity. Well, let's head down pitch side. We can go to Downsy, who is with Joe Batley.
Joe, interesting week to train with all the snow. Thank the Lord for the balm.
Yeah, thank the Lord, Steve Lansdowne. Yeah, no, it's been a good week. It's been tough. Obviously, boys have been really pumped after the strong weekend we had last week, and it's just like that drive now to go again.
Wins on the board, always great. Momentum, all important. But how do you capitalise on it and make it last?
I think just understand kind of the process that went into it to make it so good, and kind of what we did as a team and as individuals to get that win. And obviously it's a different team this week against Quins. They've got their own strengths and what they want to try and do, and we've got a great plan in place that we're going to try and implement today to get another win.
How's life for you, Joe? I mean, here, back home, Bear, contracts all done. Must be nice to be you.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously stressful beginning of the year, but like myself and my family were real settled now, and like I've always had so much love for the city of Bristol and the fans, and like it always has had a massive part of my heart. So just so happy to be back and looking to keep driving forward with the wins and more memories.
Talking about those fans, Combination Day, loads of rugby clubs here. So pleasing to see the future of Bristol Bears in the stands today.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously only 26, not too long ago that I was at my local club playing on a Sunday and then watching rugby on the weekends. And yeah, I mean, it's amazing we could do days like this, and hopefully put on a good show for everyone to enjoy, and hopefully a Bristol win.
Just aligns with the club vision, doesn't it? You know, the community element, the Combination Day, Sunday afternoon. It's not raining. It's going to be a great afternoon of rugby.
Yeah, I mean, not raining yet. We're prepping for it just in case. But now, hopefully, like we put on a show like we did last week, and we've put a lot of good work in this week. So yeah, it's about time we show everyone what we've been doing this week.
Go well today.
Thank you very much.
Indeed, show everyone what's been going on this week. Well, just some late breaking news. As we were talking through those team lineups, we had some advice from Quins that they've got a late change, one switch, Marler for Baxter. Baxter coming in.
Yeah, I think that's, well, obviously we don't know why he's swapped, but it's going to be a massive challenge for Kloska coming off the bench, going up against Marler when he comes on. And like we said, Collier is going to be a big impact, so Marler coming on as well is going to be huge.
Yeah, there's some big weight there. Well, as we were hearing there from Joe talking pitch side, all of today is about celebrating our community foundations, clubs, and who better to tell us more all about it than Craig Capel.
So yeah, we're very much looking forward to this Sunday's fixture, Bristol Bears versus Harlequins at Ashton Gate Stadium. Not least after last weekend's result and performance against Northampton Saints, but it's the Community Foundation and Combination Day. So we look forward to a number of local teams across Bristol and the South West to come and join us and celebrate what will be an amazing day for combination rugby. Look forward to seeing all the combination colours and the many shirts that exist across the combination rugby, and the opportunity for one club to have a half-time pitch parade based on the fact that they're supporting the most amount of tickets that have come down to Ashton Gate Stadium to enjoy the game will be a really good atmosphere. In addition to combination activities at the stadium on Sunday, we look forward to a number of community programmes, having the opportunity to celebrate their engagement in what it is to be a community foundation participant. So we'll see wheelchair sport provision, we'll see older people's provision, we've got a sensory sport room which allows participants from our programmes to engage and take part in the stadium atmosphere, and obviously be able to remove themselves at the right time based on their needs. And there's a real chance to fundraise for Bristol Bears Community Foundation on Sunday, which is very much part of a developing strategy moving forward for the foundation. The next steps and growth of the foundation is hugely important. We've made really big strides in improving our community rugby offer. It's a real chance for us to support local clubs here in and around Bristol, and certainly across our academy region. So at the moment we've got 9 or 10 connected clubs that have really benefited from more strategic support from Bristol Bears Community Foundation around their player, coach and club development. I'm really excited to see what that looks like moving forwards, and the real plan is to grow club connection and support even more clubs beyond those 9 or 10 as I mentioned. So with the intention of being about 20 next season. and the real value is the sort of professional support that we hopefully can lend, not only the club coaches, the clubs themselves, but supporting the players in being the best players that they can be. And importantly, maintaining their engagement through our wonderful game of rugby union for the rest of their life. We look forward to our Celebration of Sport Day at Ashton Gate in May, which will see again all the programmes that we deliver at Bristol Bears Community Foundation come under one roof at the stadium and be celebrated in some sort of way. So lots of activities, exciting opportunities planned for our participants of our programmes across Bright Sparks, bear in mind Project Rugby, and all of our primary school participants invited to take part and step onto the hallowed turf at Ashton Gate and play a number of hopefully friendly fixtures. In that evening as well, we've got the finals of our corporate tag tournament. So an amazing fundraiser supported by local corporates, and importantly will hopefully raise in excess of £20,000 for Bristol Bears Community Foundation, which is just really powerful sum, particularly for some of our underfunded programmes. So wheelchair sport is at risk of not being funded as of September next year. So we're looking to do all we can in order to maintain that engagement and maintain that programme in order to support those that need it here at Bristol.
Craig Cable there talking about all the incredible work they do. We did all have a little chuckle watching the corporate tag tournament. I mean, if I was going to play in this corporate tag tournament, I'd definitely want JP on my side. Just dropping his shoulder, you say.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
It did. I don't think he should be allowed to play in those. I'm not sure that's fair. We'd say today is all about celebrating the combination clubs. Of course, no one starts as a Bears player. You all come through a junior club route. Obviously, you came through our academy, not Bristol born, but you've been with us a long while. I mean, it's so incredible, isn't it, what the combination clubs contribute? Yeah,
I think it's amazing what they all do, and like I was at Clifton since I was 18 for a few years after that, and just you see the work they do, and then all the other clubs around the area, the amount of work they do, and the amount of kids that are getting involved in rugby. It's just it's exciting to see really around here. Yeah, more than 1,000 youngsters out around the stadium. There's quite a buzz out there today, isn't there? No, it is. I mean, filling the stadium with those sort of kids, the kids that, like you said, will eventually, give it 10, 15 years, might be the next Bristol players. So, I mean, that's how all the clubs work, right? They rely on those young grassroots players to love and enjoy the game and develop the game, and then they're going to be the future, basically. So it's cool to see them there. Yeah, they are. And of course, the women's team as well coming through. So many young girls starting to play rugby. Just as our men's team are looking for their fourth Premiership win in a row this afternoon, the women, well, they've certainly continued their great form, haven't they? God, an amazing game yesterday afternoon at Shaftesbury Park. A late win against Harlequins it was to make it 5 in a row.
Oh, hard graft. Oh, it's been turned over. Sarah Byrne gets the ball away. Oh, Bristol Bears haven't grounded it. And it's somehow still 5-0, but for how long? Marston. Great carry, great score, and Roe Marston equalises.
She has made a lot of ground this season, a lot of ball carries.
Bristol Bears line-out looking bulletproof today, and Lark Davies takes the position. Amber Reid and Phoebe Murray at their weight. There's an advantage. They're not going to need it. They're over, and they extend the lead. Well, this is position A for Lark Davies and co. And they are trotting towards the line. Lark Davies, try number 2, scores a level. Like a knife through quartered butter. It was well executed, it's well deserved, but Harlequins will be thinking, why wasn't there a winger on the touchline? They should never have been there in the first place. It's Quins put in at this scrum, in the shadow of their own sticks. On the hour here at Shaftesbury Park. What about this scrum from Bristol Bears? They've got the ball, they've got the advantage, they've got the bonus point, they've got the lead, and Ronita Marsden does the job from number 8. Lark Davies needs to get the first bit right, and does. Delaney Burns brings it to ground. Lark Davies takes her time, and Bristol Bears take it towards the try line. Patience required. Penalty advantage coming, but Bristol Bears are over. 5 minutes to go. They lead by 5 points, and the playoffs are within touching distance.
Listen, there's so many. I think Lauren Torley has been... and that is the end of the game. game.
Bristol Bears 31, Harlequins 26. The Bristol Bears bench empties. Harlequins players sink to their haunches. The magnitude of this victory is not wasted on anyone who has emptied themselves for 80 minutes here at Shaftesbury Park. A comeback victory for Bristol Bears, a bonus point victory, and evidence of the turnaround that this team and this group have completed this year. They've got one foot in the playoffs. There are still jobs to be done, but they are now the favourites to make the semi-final for the second time in their history, the second year in a row. And that is absolutely enormous in the grand scheme of this season. Bristol Bears 31, Harlequins 26.
It really was an enormous win in front of a great crowd over at Shaftesbury Park, and you can see how much that meant to the girls as well going into this break.
Yeah, it's exciting. It puts them in a good spot to go into the playoff places, and I mean, watching it from a forward's point of view, they absolutely dominated. So it was
they were,
pretty
weren't
good.
they? I mean, Burner is always incredible, but to watch that display was a moment. I mean, they've had a tough season leading into this, so to string these back-to-back wins really has pushed them up, so as you say, into fourth now. Yeah,
I think it's exciting for them, and if they can go playoffs again and see what happens, and hopefully get the win and see what goes from there.
Yeah, let's see. Well, next up, as I say, they're now on international break. So next up for them, there's a bit of a break, and it's they're back at Shaftesbury Park on Sunday, April the 23rd, a 3 o'clock kickoff. That one for the Allianz Cup semi-final. Once again against Exeter Chiefs. Of course, head online to buy those tickets. They are available now. Well, it seems to be lots of late-breaking news in team lineups for the Quins side. We've just been told as well, Will Evans is now out. He was on the bench and he's been replaced by Hayden Hyde coming in at the back row.
Yeah, I think that's massive, to be honest. Will Evans is a hell of a player to come off the bench, so for him to be dropping out is, well, good for us, but not so great for Quins.
Yeah, I mean, how disruptive is it having these late-minute changes, or do you think they were probably always slightly in doubt? And
yeah, probably going into this game there might have been a question mark over him. I'm sure maybe it's usually quite abnormal to have something happen in the warm-up, but I'm sure it won't disrupt them too much in terms of set piece stuff like that. More for us, maybe we might change our game plan a little bit in terms of impact of the bench. We might now change how we use our bench, but yeah, it's all these last minute changes that happens, so it's not abnormal.
No, well, we shall see. Well, it isn't long to go until kickoff, just over 10 minutes to go. We will say goodbye to you, Will. Thank you very much for joining us in the build-up. We'll let you make your way up to the commentary position in a moment. After this short break, we will be hearing from the directors of rugby.
Hit the dance floor, fatality, my diamonds that cold. Versace trunks, I hit my backstroke. Knock on the door. She at the back live in the moment, feel like summertime. Obsessed with nature, not a world mine.
Hello and welcome back to Ashton Gate Stadium and our Bears TV coverage of this round 20 Gallagher Premiership clash, Bears versus Harlequins, proudly sponsored by ATPI Sports Events. Well, just around 10 minutes to go until kick-off. Let's get the final thoughts of Harlequins head coach Tobias Matson, followed by Director of Rugby for Bears, Pat Lamb.
Tamba, there's not a huge amount of wriggle room in the middle of the table at the moment. In terms of your aspirations of making the top four, how important is today?
Yeah, I think it's the same for both of us, isn't it? We're kind of in that mid to lower table, and a win takes us, a few places up, and a loss keeps us near the bottom. So it's an interesting one, isn't it? I feel like I'm having the same conversation every week, and I've never been in a competition where every week the ladder changes so dramatically. So what we want to do, and I'm sure Bristol will do too, is continue from last week around the performance element, real positive intent. We've clearly got a really big day trying to contain a red-hot team, so that's been our focus all week.
Yeah, talking about limiting red-hot teams or elements of it, Charles Piutau was fantastic last week. How do you limit his influence?
Yeah, easier said than done. Loose kicks, stuff like that. Making sure we control where the game's played. Again, that's easier said than done. So up front, there's a big onus on our chase line, making sure we don't switch off at all. And if we do that, he won't get as many one-on-one opportunities. If he gets one-on-one opportunities, you're asking for to be damaged. So we'll see. We'll find it early on, because ultimately you've got to kick early on to control the territory. So he's been spoken about all week.
Hope it goes well for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Pat, fantastic performance last week. You must be pumped for today.
Yeah, obviously we're proud of that effort, but for us, we spoke about all week, that's come on the back of consistency and the way we train every day, and it's been another good week. But we always set the marker. It doesn't matter what we do during the week. Well, it does, but the most important thing is 3 o'clock kickoff. That's when it counts. So we've set ourselves up nicely to continue, but it all counts at 3.
Yeah, delivering a similar result to last week is what it's all about. How do you sort of go about doing that?
Yeah, again, our roles. I think clarity has been really important. I think the trust is there amongst the guys. I've just seen more and more over the last 2 months. The encouragement from each other, talking, commentating to each other, pushing each other along, getting early calls, guys in position better. It's just a real collective effort, and it's a joy to watch. But we're going to be well tested. We know what Quins are like, but huge opportunity to double over them. And there was a hard out there. Our ground, I think the rain will come in, so we've just got to be really focused.
You alluded to it there. Quins always fascinating to play. What are you expecting them to bring?
Well, fast game. We've got to be alert and everything. Obviously Danny Care's got a few tricks up his sleeve. Obviously they've got some big boys as well, physical, but they like to play. So our defence has been superb. It needs to go another level and will be challenged. So we're looking forward to that challenge.
Also, combination day here at Ashton Gate really aligns with the club vision. It'd be great to see all those local clubs here today.
Oh, well, without a doubt, when I first arrived there and got out to a lot of the clubs, and you just realise it's the backbone of who we are and Bristol. So keep an eye on how all the clubs are going. And we've got different players play in these clubs as well. So it's great. We can celebrate them, and hopefully a lot of them come out on their different jerseys.
Good luck today.
Cheers. Thank you.
Hopefully a great celebration day this afternoon. Tobias there focusing evidently on Charles Piutau. I mean, he was in such fantastic form last week.
Yeah, he's a special talent, isn't he? When you give him a bit of space, he can do some incredible things. So hopefully he gets the ball one-on-one chances, and you can do something special again. Yeah,
get the crowd roaring. You can see now the stadium filling up nicely, and that's what we want to hear, isn't it? That crowd roar as Charles Piutau steps through. Yeah, I think it was incredible last week when he every time he touched the ball, you could just hear the buzz going up, and then he'd make a line break, and it was the crowd went crazy. So it was brilliant. Yeah, well, let's hope we have more of that this afternoon. We shall see. Well, for those of you that are currently watching on our social channels, this of course is where we say goodbye to you. If you want to watch all of the game action, just head over to PRTV Live and you can purchase your matchday pass for just £4.99. You just go to the premiershiprugby.com website, select the PRTV pass, but select the one with Bears TV, and you will get all of the halftime and full-time show with myself and John Hawkins' expert analysis alongside me. So with that, we will hand you over to the commentary team, Will Porter and Martin Gillingham.
Gallagher Premiership, Bristol return to the scene of what was in competitive terms a brutal assault, which had it been conducted according to the rules of Marquis Queensberry,